What's
Bros in the house.
We here. We out here.
And guess what? We are ready for training camp. NFL season is here, boys. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, there are a lot of questions to talk about, though. You know, we want to talk about linebackers, wide receivers, all the position groups. You know, it's a big question mark. Now we all saw the rookies went into camp on the 16th. Kind of strange. I would have expected more information to come out about those guys, but nothing did. Mm-hmm. I think this next week will probably heat up a little more. We'll probably see a little more information. I would suspect that last week was all about the just understanding the playbook and things like that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure definitely. That's all it really was. I was thinking they're going to be a little bit more footage of being on field or anything like that, but nothing really came up. So either way, hey, vets are going to show up this week. Dayon Henley's got a camp going on right now in LA. So football's right around the corner, guys. The full team will be in there ready to rip. So let's go.
Yes, sir.
And Kyle and I met the director the other day here in Utah. Cool dude.
Yeah, super cool. Like really, we had a good time with him, you know. But we should probably tell a little bit of the story about how some drunk Niners fan was trying to like fight us. I feel like
such a weirdo. That's so weird that somebody would basically try to like go after you guys. Like, what does it matter, dude? Like, come on, bro. The season ain't even happening, but hey, you know, you can get a little tipsy, dude. Things get a little loosey. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right. It was really funny though. Yeah,
that's right,
that guy was drank way too much, and like, I think he was fading out, like for sure though too. He was just like, yeah. Actually, it really would have been really fun actually if we did fight him. Actually, to be honest,
that would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, we got plenty to talk about today. Camp battles. Let's get into it.
I'm Dayon Henley. You watching the Boat Bros podcast? Let's do it!
Woo.
You.
Okay, how's the sound for everybody, guys? Because it has been all over the place for me.
Yeah. I mean, you sound good. I mean, I sound good. I mean, I know I sound good, but you know, James sounds good. We all good.
We all sound good. Turn it up, baby.
I think Andy's just going deaf because he's the oldest one.
That's it. Exactly. Mm-hmm. He's getting grays. He's getting lower hearing.
Got that tinnitus going right now. That's what he's got. Yep.
You got the hammy issues. You know, all that stuff.
It's reverberating really bad on my end. I'm going to reload my computer here, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, let me pop back on the slides.
All right. So I guess it's just us right now. So
that's right, dude. That's all that matters. The two best bros, anyways. Who cares?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, the real bro show is up in here.
Right.
Now,
that's right.
So.
But let me go back to this here real quick. I know you guys already chatted about it and everything a bit, but you guys met with the director out in LA, or excuse me, in Utah. Good to be able to kind of connect with the community even further and everything too. Great to see that. You know, it's one thing I love about being in podcast and being just kind of out there as one of the voices of Chargers and everything too is, hey man, you connect with the fans, connect with other podcasts, have a good time with them, man. So it's awesome. And once again, training camp is starting up this week, and there is going to be some parties that are actually going to be happening after the Saturday practice. It's going to be at Sauce Barbecue, just right around the corner. I think it's actually right at like Top Golf area or something like that. In El Segundo.
Basically, it's on the other side of Top Golf. Is on the left,
Top Golf,
and then Sauce is on the right, basically. So yeah, nice. But yeah, it's all in that same area. But I'm actually, but there's also there's the Rock and Brews that the Die Hard Bolt Club is going to afterwards as well.
Cool.
So there's two different locations, and I'm actually kind of sad that there's not something beforehand. I mean, this is a 5 p.m. camp. Yeah, it's like
they do a pregame, dude. A pregame, and then go to camp, all come together. Man, come on now.
Let's have a tailgate. Let's have a tailgate a little bit, you know? Yeah.
Tailgate is undefeated.
Yeah, man. Jeez. Mini Thunder Alley. Let's go, dude. But
yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to go to Sauce Barbecue before the game or before the camp.
Yeah,
I would say. Yeah.
Well, the thing is though, man, you eat too much barbecue, you get all sleepy, dude. You'll be all you'll be in the stands like, yo, wait a minute, man.
Nah.
Hey, remember James, when we went to that Charger game, we went to Roscoe's.
I'll throw that story out right now. So
that was a good story. Good story.
I think it was the New York Giants versus the Chargers Sunday night football game, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And we're like, hey, man, let's go hit up Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles out in Long Beach before the game. And, went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I mean,
can't way too much.
Best chicken and waffles for sure. Knock that out, dude. Before we got on the freeway, Andrew over here is like, oh, man, I'm about to take a nap, dude. I'm tired, man. I was like, all right, cool, dude. You do your thing. Probably like that dude falls asleep in like 30 seconds. And then like he's over here snoring in the front seat, dude, drooling and everything. And then probably about 10, 15 minutes down the road, I'm getting sleepy. I'm straight riding the bull, just trying to get to San Diego, dude. Bro, I'm like, woo!
Hey.
I'm just trying to keep that thing. What's it? 11-2, baby. 11-2. Just like, keep eyes up. 11-2.
I think the thing is though too is, man, being like carcolepsy is freaking contagious too though, it's like
big time.
It really is. It's real. Like, it's hard.
Dude, it's tough, man. And dude, I took it all the way down to San Diego, dude. And I think we got to like Mission Valley area, and I was like, dude, look, I got to get some energy drink or something, dude.
Yep.
I'm surprised you went, bro.
I'm surprised you went that far, like Mission Valley.
I was like, I'm trying to get to San Diego. I'm trying to not be late on this game, dude. I'm going.
Yeah, you should have hit up that gas station right away. It's like, oh shoot, man, I'm fading out.
Well, I was having a great dream. I was enjoying it. It's cool.
Yeah.
I would have liked to sleep, man, but we probably have been dead if I slept. That would have been a wrap. But man,
narco chicken tendies.
Yeah, narco chicken tendies.
That's the facts, though, man. Hey, actually, I gotta throw out like some sad trumpets out here though, because Chicken and Waffles has closed down out here in Pasadena, man. So,
it did. Bummer.
Dude, rest in peace. Roscoe's Chicken. Dude, I was thinking about it. And we all three are going to be at training camp this weekend, and a Monday and Tuesday, I believe. I am not sure, Kyle, because I think you got tickets for all the game or the practices this week.
Yep.
But Andrew and I and Kyle will be at the practices for sure on Saturday. We're planning to be there on Monday and Tuesday. I'm not sure if Kyle will be going those days too, but
once again, week. Yeah.
Yep. Second week will be up for grabs for tickets, I think on the 22nd, which is Monday. So keep in mind on that. We did want to make an announcement. We do have some tickets to give away for training camp too.
For this week.
This week?
Yeah,
for this week.
All week.
Yep.
All week.
So all week. So we have training tickets ready all week. So let us know who wants tickets and everything too. We could probably see what we could try to transfer. I don't know if we're trying to do some spinning of the wheel and put everybody's name in there and then, hey, you won the tickets kind of thing. But we got some tickets for you guys. So just hit us up, DM us, and we can see if we could try to get you guys situated too. Saturday, we got a good amount of tickets, I believe. So hit us up for sure.
Yeah, and I know the director will be there on Saturday for sure. Actually, the director flies in on Thursday. He'll be there pretty much all week, won't he?
Yeah, I think he's going Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think.
Yeah, so should be good.
Yeah,
killer.
So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, good dude, really cool guy, really cool guy.
That's right.
And the great thing, guys, too, this is going to be the first time the Bolt's going to be the training camp facility in El Segundo. Great weather all around, too, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 1,500 fans could go in there as spectators for training camp. It's going to be lit, boys. It's going to be lit. I can't wait.
And checking out the Bolt, dude. So, Kyle, really quickly, what was your experience on the Bolt?
Oh, man, it's really nice in there, man. Really nice. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's so clean inside there. Like, dude, they did really well with that thing. So like you walk right in, of course, like they have the Chargers Hall of Fame. It's kind of like the Hollywood Walk of Fame, like like they're all kind of put in there, like so all like the most important people that have kind of come through, like legendary players and coaches and GMs and all that stuff, like all right there. The big old like there's a big old video screen. I think so. The cool thing about that video screen is going to be they'll show highlights of the season on the screen. So like I think that's going to be a fun thing for the players to be like they want to get on the screen. Like I mean it's not not going to be a big not a big play unless it gets on the screen for the week.
Ooh,
I like that. I like that. Hey, motivation, man.
Yeah, right. And so I'm like, that's gonna be really cool. Man, like I mean, their locker rooms are pretty awesome. Like they got a ping pong table up in there. They got like a whole like a little chilling area where with TVs. Too. Like they literally had a whole bunch of lazy boys up in there. Like I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You just kind of relax, just hang out. Yeah, and like dude, it looks great, man. Like I really wanted to get into that lap pool there that they had too, like and swim around, do some laps. Like, hey,
skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I ain't skinny dipping. No, man. I had I had my American flag shorts underneath my pants, so I was ready.
Oh, there you go. All right. All right. Just say, hey, I'm patriotic. I'm just doing patriotic laps. Leave me alone.
That's right, man. Hey, this is America, right? I thought we had freedom.
That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
But it's gonna be so good. Like honestly, like Spanos really did well for the players, with this facility, man. Like it is absolutely top notch. There's like 3 levels on it. And they have plenty of space like to work out, to to stretch out with their the locker rooms and everything. And it's going to be really good. I'm excited for it. I hope the players really are too. But you know what? And hopefully it keeps them motivated on the field. To want to stay here and everything, man.
Love it. And people brought up the whole thing too. I think it was in the last show. They said, "Hey, look, do you think that this facility will be able to bring in more players that want to play for this team, or is it going to be the Harbaugh, Herbert connection?" And to be honest, I think it's going to be everything. Like think about the just impressive facility that you have, and think that you got Harbaugh and Herbert out on the same field. I mean, it's it's a lot of selling points. Plus, you got to even say you got great weather and you got Los Angeles right there, beach, everything too. Like there's a lot of selling points to this team now, guys, and that's
for sure
a massive upgrade for this team. And I think some of the NFLPA report cards on the team and everything like that, the facilities haven't been good for the team, and you could imagine the facilities are going to be ridiculously high, especially with that Charger football helmet oven too. Making me a pizza real quick.
Wolfgang Puck is making their food, guys. Man, they walk in there, get all the food they want, whatever, dude. Come on now, it's incredible, dude.
I will say this: there's only one thing I was disappointed about that tour that we had.
No Charger girls.
No, is that I was expecting to get like a slice of brick oven pizza out of the
pizza hat, man.
That would have been sick.
I wanted a slice out of the Chargers hat, man. Helmet. Hey, hey, man, we all grew up near the Jelly Belly factory, man. We got jelly beans all the time out that way,
That's right, man.
Hey, I want some pizza, bro.
Yeah, throw me some. Remember we used to get all them belly flops, all that stuff.
Oh, heck
all
yeah,
day,
hey,
all day.
I still actually every once in a while I'd be browsing. I'm like, man, I want to get me a box of them belly flops like right now.
That's a little Bolt Bros history right there, right? The Jelly Belly factory. We grew up right next to it as well.
James got some even greater stories of like stealing jelly beans from the factory.
Yeah, man.
I don't know what's the statute of limitations for all that. Actually, hope you don't get in trouble. Yeah,
because we'd be skateboarding over there. There's a spot called the Jelly Banks. We'd skateboard over there and have a good time, and then we'd go check out the Jelly Belly factory and go over there in these bins full of jelly beans, and you go in there and put your hands in there. Who knows what they did with them jelly beans? They're just sitting outside. You go out there and have a great time with those. And you can do whatever you want with them. And I'm not going to talk about what we did with some of them. So we're good. We're good. We'll talk about that.
Ate some, threw some at each other. That's fun.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it was great times. Great times, man. But
let's start talking about some position battles at camp, guys. And in the comments, guys, throw your comments and questions out as well too. And this is, by the way, this is an interesting slide, man.
Dude, it's crazy. It's a $33 million difference than what we've been spending since last year. Now, that's what the thing about ESPN that they're basically bagging on us hard, because it's saying, hey, position battle, you don't really have that good of a guy at tight end. You have a good running back. You don't have good wide receivers. You're the worst in the league. I think that's ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, okay, I get it. Somebody has to be last. Totally get it. We don't have Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Eckler. I get it. That's not to say, like, we really got anywhere with these guys. Like, a reset was going to happen with this team. And guess what? We have the third cheapest offense in the league right now, but you got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And then on top of that, you got one of the best head coaches for the team now, with a great coaching staff around him. Coaching matters, guys. And great quarterback coach quarterback combo is going to make a big difference for the entire team.
I'll just say this too. I was chatting with a Raider fan. I know, trying to avoid Raider fans for the most part, right, as always. But I was chatting with him last night, and we were talking. He might have a ticket for me for the final game of the season in Vegas, so I might take him up on that.
Yeah,
we were chatting about it, and anyways, going back and forth on it. And he was like, "Man, you guys got a great offensive line, though. Like, you guys have a great offensive line, and if you can protect Herbert, he's going to make everyone look good." Like, and he goes, "Look at our team. We don't even really know who our quarterback's going to be. Is he going to be Gardner Minshew, or is he going to be Rodney Farva 2.0?" You know,
did you see him wearing a shirt? He says, "I look like Farva" or something like that.
I got to see that.
Oh, that's hilarious. It was hilarious.
We don't have to worry about that, right? We just got to protect Herbert, give him the time, and he'll make any wide receiver look good, dude. At the end of the day, he will make every wide receiver look fine. So I don't worry about us scoring points. I just think it's really boils down to defense, in my opinion. If we can keep it close, we'll be fine. And look, the way we're going to play offense, it's going to be very simple for him to be successful. So I think it'd be great.
Yeah, 100%.
Offensive line is the core, right? And if you got a great O-line, you're going to have a good, solid run game too.
I mean, that's the tip of the spear.
Tip of the spear,
baby.
Yeah. and then Justin Herbert is the edge of the knife.
Edge of the knife.
And then the water boy is the crack of my ass.
That's still one of the best quotes in a movie, dude. That's hilarious.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But, hey, man, like, we got some position battles here. And I'm going to say, I put this one in here because kind of to talk about my special teams video that I had earlier, kind of how the whole special teams works, how the new kickoff rules work and everything too. One thing I didn't add in that video too was when the ball is kicked off, both sides of the team cannot move until the guy catches the ball and then he starts running around. And that's when they could start moving and start blocking and all these different things. But the one thing I emphasized in that video is talking about J.K. Scott doing the kickoffs.
Yeah,
and he doesn't generally do the kickoffs. But the reason why I feel there could be a little bit of battle between Dicker and J.K. Scott, J.K.'s got the ball in the 20, 30 times last season. And so he's very, very consistent about getting into that spot. That's a big thing about this whole kickoff rules. Try to get it into that landing zone area, which is the 20 to the goal line. So there is a chance that I think JK might actually find a couple reps there and just put Cameron Dicker purely as basically just a field goal kicker for us. Like, who knows? These two positions are going to be changing a little bit. And to be honest, there could be a chance it could shift around where there's less punters and just more kickers for field goal guys that'll do both or whatnot. So interesting thought. Something I'm just going to observe in preseason. For sure.
And the Aussie rules kickers too. You know, if the ball hits the ground, it bounces an odd way, and all kinds of different things. You know, because it'll be very interesting. It's going to be a big part of the game that we're going to have to check out a lot, right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
Bigger bodies for tackling is what Mighty says. You know, it'll be interesting to see though. That's where the linebackers are going to be really important. And by the way, we're going to talk more about linebackers a little bit later on. I wouldn't be surprised if this team had a lot of linebackers, even just special teams folks. So I think we're going to be pretty deep in the linebacker room already.
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about wide receivers here. You know, this room is interesting. I mean, who we're probably going 5. There might be 6 wide receivers at this point. Name off the 5 that are going to make it. Who might be the 6th?
What are those head condoms are called again? What are those things called again?
Jimmies? I mean, what are you talking about here, dude? Like,
what are those things called? I'll look it up.
Yeah. I don't know, but they've expanded how many people actually are using it now. You know, like they're, I don't know, like it's funny enough. I actually got into like kind of a bit of a debate on Instagram about those things because I guess
Guardian caps. That's what they're called. They're called the Guardian cap.
I mean, that does sound like a name of a good old
a condom.
Another condom brand right there for sure.
Yeah. Totally.
Guardian cap.
Yep.
I heard some weird thing that they want to try to make this as a standardization of the helmet. Like, basically, everybody on field will be wearing these while playing in an actual game. And so,
I don't think that
weird rumor that they want to do that though. Like,
I think it's just for practice. Like, honestly, like, I mean, if they did that for the actual game, man, that'd be kind of annoying.
Like, you would just make it look like the helmet, basically.
May as well just make them running around in the freaking, the Bubble Boy outfits or something like that, Jeez.
I mean, I guess maybe they could just tighten it up or basically make the helmets look bigger so then you look like Lord Helmet from Spaceballs or something.
Right?
Like
Lord
that.
Helmet. Yeah. Then you all look like Kyler Murray running around.
Yeah.
Oh,
right,
totally.
right.
Like a bobblehead on the field.
Oh, no, they got the NBA Jam big head mode on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
but
our 5 wide receivers that are pretty much going to be here is going to be, obviously Ladd McConkey, Quinton Jammer, or I say Quinton Jammer all the time.
Quinton Jammer, yeah, nice.
Quinton Jammer.
Going back.
Hey, let's bring him back.
Quinton Johnston, Josh Palmer. You got Darius Davis, you assume, right? Because he'll be special teams specifically for us too. And then you're going to add DJ Shark, right?
Yeah.
So who's going to be 6th if they're going to bring in 6 at this point? Is it going to be Brendan Rice? Cornelius Johnson? Is it going to be Simi Fehoko? Like, who is it going to be?
Good boy down to special teams, in my opinion, right? Cornelius, if you watch my video on the rookies, I think Cornelius is a very good blocking wide receiver. Yep. I think if you bulked him up and made him a tight end, he would actually have a very good spot on this team because he has very good hands too. So we'll see. But I do think special teams would be big. And again, will Brendan Rice really put a lot of effort into that? I hope he does.
Aether threw out a comment, not a question. So we're good with comments, not questions, right? So so he says.
By the way, no. So before you even say that, though, we just got to throw this a little. That's Aether out there. Like, he has relegated himself to the loss, and
he took the big L.
He took the big L.
Yeah.
So he's not allowed to do any questions until he starts paying, but he can comment all he wants. It's fine.
But he did bring up about IU. Not a question. Comment.
A comment.
So that's acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about Ayuk is you're going to have to pay this dude probably $30 million a season on average.
Yeah.
You're going to probably either need to trade a player, trade picks. There's a lot of adjustments.
They're going to want a lot. They're going to want a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is that idea. And since we're sitting on the wide receiver side, I've always kind of thought, like, what if they ended up floating out, like, say, like Quinton Johnston doesn't really seem to work out, and they decide, hey, let's go trade him off, plus a let's say a 4th round pick or something like that. Go get Brandon Ayuk, pay a guy to be a $30 million wide receiver. I mean, just thinking like ways that they might be able to like adjust it and change and to be able to add a big talent like that. I mean, that instantly adds a legitimate wide receiver to this room. But I just don't see, Joe Ortiz, if you look at like the Ravens, they don't generally say, hey, let's put a ton of money in one position, specifically wide receiver. So if they want to stay on that type of like, theme of the way the Ravens work, probably ain't going to work. Probably ain't going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't think he's a Harbaugh guy either. I think this guy, when someone, again, it's, what does Harbaugh always say? What's good for the bee is good for the hive. So you can't be a lone B doing your own thing, right? Oh, I got to make my $35 million a year. And once you get that way, dude, you turn into a JC Jackson, bro. That guy's a train wreck. Yeah, we're still paying for that guy $20 million this year.
Yeah.
And
he got his rings. And so he just wanted his bag, because he wasn't going to get that at New England. So that's why they told him to kick rocks. And so we just, I don't know, we banked in on him on the tip of his career, I guess. And he just wanted to ride off into the sunset, man. Yeah.
And DZ's comment there talking about Ortiz, he did clear our books. We could afford any or whoever right now, but they want to extend Slater, and Slater's going to get a big contract. And that's the thing. Like, extension is one thing because he still has a 5th year that we've already picked up. We just have to extend at that point, but there's going to be a boatload of money up front on that too. Salary cap and signing bonuses work differently than actual, cap hits base salaries. So, you could kind of still adjust it at that point, but hey, I'll take Debo all day over Ayuk. I think Debo is an absolute stud. One of my favorite wide receivers in the league.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude's built like a running back that's got wheels, and it's great. I love it. I would love it, but either way.
Just a random question about the salary cap. Maybe you guys can, or the chat can answer this, or whatever that, but so in the NFL, is it kind of like with the salary cap? Is it kind of like the government? If you use the money or you lose the money, or does it transfer over to the next year? So if we have a surplus, does it go into the next year, or does it
It can. It can if you want, and that's up to the owners if they want to do that. So if you had $10 million left on the books for 2024, you could transfer that to 2025 if you wanted to. But that's up to the owners. Do they want to pocket that money, or they want to move it to something else? Because I think the end of last year we had about $8 million, and that didn't get transferred over. I think the reason being is, hey, we got a big facility that we just paid a bunch of money for.
Right.
We got other things that we could obligate money to, or also we could pay for coaches to be able to be on Harbaugh's staff.
Or need to pay that dang $450 million fine that the NFL, got.
Yeah.
That whole thing is going to be kick the can down the road, guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's going to be down the road.
Yeah.
And it's going to constantly, I don't think anything's going to happen from that for a while. It's kind of ridiculous, to be honest. I think they should really find a different way to be able to manage the Sunday ticket, in my opinion. But whatever, they're just trying to get as much money as they can now.
For sure.
So wide receivers, let's go to.
I'll leave it here for a second. These are the slides I added, James.
Okay.
So and then again, what do you guys think about Quinton Johnston? I think he's gonna have a good season. I look, the reality is this, in my opinion, Quinton was used incorrectly last year. And he was not, he was asked to do things that he did not, he's not good at, right? I'm a savage professional player. I dominate the pickleball court. I dominate softball, all the above, as bros. And, hey, I have my limitations. I have my limitations as well. And Quinton does also, right? His route tree was a little off. The good thing is I think they're going to get him to do what he's good at and leave it at that. They're not going to monkey around with it. They're not going to ask him to do too much. That's what I think is going to make him successful this season. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see. But what do you guys think in the chat? Do you think he's going to have a bounce back season, or do you think he's going to struggle? And then again, look at, you got DJ Shark right there as well too. Is he going to have a bounce back season? I think there's going to be a lot of rotation. If you could get like Brennan Rice, and you could get even Cornelius to play on special teams successfully, then they could run 7 wide receivers and just rotate. Not going to be great for fantasy, but, it's going to be good for the team because everyone's going to be, fresh for when they need to go play.
Yeah. No. And look, I watched every single throw to Quinton Johnston. I was going to say Quinton Jammer again for some reason. Quinton Johnston last season. And to be honest, man, Telesco always had such an odd idea with picks, and especially
always
picks.
Always.
I swear, and I almost like want to ask Quinton, being like, "Hey, man, when you got drafted last year, did Telesco say, hey, we don't need you this year. Just sit back and relax, and then take this year off, and then we'll get you in year 2 kind of thing?" Because I think that's like literally what they said to him. Like, "Hey, we got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Josh Palmer right in front of you. Don't worry, man. Just take in that check. We'll talk about it in year 2 kind of thing." And I feel like that's kind of a repetition with a lot of first round picks under Telesco. And I'd be interested to see how like some of the first round picks and high round picks for the Raiders work this year for them, since Telesco's over there now. But last year, I felt like Quinton Johnston was just really not being utilized correctly. And the Harbaughs have talked about it. Like, the Harbaughs have said, hey, look, like, we understand how to utilize these guys' strengths. We're going to work to their strengths. Put this guy in slants. Put this guy in position that he could catch the ball and have space to run. Put him in like a bunch formation screen pass kind of situation. Allow him to be able to just have the ball in his hands and go. I mean, he was one of the best in yards after catch. So I think he should be fine this season. Best believe this coaching staff knows what they're doing. We have a competent coaching staff. That's going to be great for us, guys.
Yeah. And I think it's going to really boil down to what happens in the preseason games, right? Like Rice. I don't know you're going to see a lot of Quinton or DJ, but I think you're going to see a lot of the rookies. Depending on how the rookies play, will be interesting to see what happens and who gets put down practice squad. Because you don't want to put like Brendan Rice down practice squad. He could get scooped up off waivers. Now, I will say this. The waiver thing, the reason why I say the waiver thing is not that big a deal for week 1. Every team already has their players. They have 90 players and they're filtering down. Ask yourself this question. Are they really going to go, oh my gosh, Brendan Rice is available. Let's go get him. Now, there's 32 teams that could go do that, but it doesn't really happen week 1 very often, largely because they have their 90 people. They're whittling it down to 53, and they're just hoping their guys don't get taken by other teams. So because look, like let's say if you get Brendan Rice, then you got to dump somebody else off your practice squad. So is that guy more important to that team than their other players that are on the practice squad that they're trying to retain? So I'm just saying, like, I don't know that that's really, I don't know. I just don't really feel like that's, a huge issue.
Yep. I agree.
I don't know. I feel like because Brendan Rice has so much like press about him, and he's such a kind of a bigger name, like already, even though he's a rookie, that's actually a reason why like they probably will put him on the actual 53 as opposed to practice squad.
Correct.
Because someone else might pick him up like right away, So
well, that's what I'm saying though, because after all of that, you still again, they have their 90, they're whittling it down to 53 and a practice squad. And every team is built differently. Every team has different philosophies, right? So good question by LOD. Will JK and Gus stay healthy all year? Your guess is as good as mine, man. I mean, hopefully
as good as mine.
Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can pull up while we're talking here. Like, I'm gonna see if I can pull up that their odds of getting injured this year. Let's see.
Yeah, it's the whole thing about like JK is really the question mark in my opinion, because it's like he's always had these like freak accidents at just odd times, but when that guy's on the field, he's an absolute stud. That's the whole thing about him. Like, if JK, that's a huge X factor to this team. And we actually didn't even emphasize the camp battles on this because it's kind of like that's an established set of who we're going with. With JK,
might even be 4 running backs too. Could even be 4 running backs.
And I really feel it's going to be 4. And who is going to be that 4th? Is it going to be Elijah Dotson? Is it going to be Isaiah Spiller? Like, who's it going to be at this point? Like, and I would not be surprised if it's 4. I would not be surprised if it's 4. So,
Daryl, dude, it's so funny. Q will play the way he's been playing on my Madden the past few months, averaging 70 yards and a touchdown.
Let's go. Let's go.
Baby. Let's go.
Hey, let's go, man. I'm ready. Let's do this.
That's so funny, dude. That's so funny.
It just, I know we're talking talking a lot about wide receivers here, but I know somebody talked about something about Dak left the Cowboys, which it doesn't sound like that's the case. I mean, basically they're in a cap situation with Dak Prescott. I mean, it's $55 million cap hits for the next 2 years, essentially. They're not going anywhere with Dak. CeeDee Lamb is probably the only guy that could be a little bit of open that somebody could try to trade for him because I know he wants a contract. I would love to have CeeDee Lamb. I mean, that guy is an absolute monster on the field. I mean, he had 135 catches last season. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
so
that's wild.
We'll see. I mean, I do think once again, we're not going to sit as a team like Tom Telesco does. Say mid-year. Let's say the Cowboys are just atrocious. Let's say CeeDee Lamb basically didn't get paid or whatnot. I could see the Chargers being like, hey, look, we got a chance to say we're like 7-3 or something, or whatever time it is to get to like the trade, cutoff for the trade for midseason trades.
Mm-hmm.
I could see us going after somebody if we feel like we could get another player to elevate this team. I could totally see us do that. So keep an eye out for it, guys.
And he's talked about that quite a bit.
100%.
He said, he's all for it, and he'll sign a veteran for a 1-year contract just with the thought of, hey, we can get a comp pick for that person.
Exactly.
At a later date. So,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And we'll see what Brendan Rice is going to be. I think the preseason is going to be massive for him. Massive, massive, massive for him. So keep an eye out. So linebackers or Kyle, what are you going to
say? Hang on a sec. I'm pulling it up here. I'm going to share the screen here, but it does look like Gus Edwards has a higher chance of getting an injury this year. Let me see if I can pull this up here real quick.
And that's crazy to think about because Gus is the bus, dude, and that guy is an absolute animal. Like he's a big dude.
Yeah. So this is pretty good little like draft situation here, like a website, to get your kind of info.
Cool.
So draftsharks.com has him at a 49.8% chance of a risk for injury. So medium risk, getting like a head, concussion or whatever. But you look at his injury like history, like he's had injuries the last 3 years consecutively.
All right.
So that does mean, I would say that there is a good chance that he's going to miss maybe 3 to 4 games, this year, based on injury history. So,
yeah.
And
Interesting.
then let's go into J.K. Dobbins here. We got all this stuff here, but he's at
so many.
Actually, he's at a lower risk than Gus Edwards. He's got
but he's done like really bad injuries. Like we're talking like season-ending injuries. Really, really bad.
Yeah,
right.
Knees.
So that's where you're right though, because like in 2021, that's when it was though. It's like knee ACL tear, meniscus trims, LCL tear, hamstring tears. But that was all in 2021.
Oof.
Yeah,
that's harsh.
Yeah,
and Miguel, 47 days. Miguel, 47 days.
But when you see it's all on that one side right there. So on that
he's good on the left side. The right side maybe a little iffy.
Right,
maybe a little iffy.
That's right. So if you're gonna fight him in the street, go for that right leg.
The right leg. Sweep the leg, Johnny.
Sweep the leg. Anyways,
Sweep the leg.
I thought that was a good question. So we'll see that.
That's an interesting stat to look at, and I have been kind of thinking about, even in like the offseason, they've been chatting about how J.K. Dobbins is they were being slow with him. Essentially, they weren't trying to work him that hard. They want to make sure, hey, he's healthy going into the season. I kind of do wonder if we're going to see a little bit more of Vidal out there than we realize. And he got a lot of snaps in offseason too, in the training activities. So it's a chance that could happen, guys. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and talk about linebackers. Now, we're not going to talk about like Khalil Mack, Bosa, all those guys. Those guys are considered more in the defensive line, essentially. But linebackers, Junior Colson, you got him. He's a dog. And it is kind of weird about the whole illness situation that he's been put on. He's kind of been a little bit of like some situation going on with some injury. We'll kind of know a little bit more about that. But he was put on the the illness list to start camp. Don't know what it is.
He got that Rona, dude. He got that Rona.
They got that Rona, baby. Hey, Rona's going around. I mean, go back to JT Woods last season, dude. Like he was on that illness list, and I had no clue what was going on. No clue.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. But
strike first, strike hard. I'll add that to my online dating profile.
Yeah.
This guy did.
Hey.
That's
what she said. Miguel, great minds think alike. I like that.
Right. That's right, Miguel.
You're one of the bros, Miguel. You're one of the goes.
That's it. So Junior Colson, we got Denzel Perryman, we got Deion Henley, you got Nick Neiman essentially as the 4 guys at this point.
I like Nick though too. Dye's good too.
Nick's good.
Nick's good. Dye's good. We got a great linebacking core.
Yeah. And would there be a 5th? Would there just be one more guy that finds his way on this squad? I'm not sure about that. But who's really going to be the starters? That's the thing here. Like, is Denzel Perryman going to be a starter? Is Deion going to find a way to be the starter? Or is it going to be Junior? He's going to get the dot. He knows the defense, right? Like, who knows? That's the whole battle here that's going to be happening here. So,
yeah. Well, and again, Minter typically runs a 4-3 defense, right? So that's that's 3 linebackers. So you're going to see a rotation. I even suspect Neiman's going to play a little bit as well too, right? He's good in coverage. So I think he's fine. Yeah, and Aether, I don't see a question, so I don't know what you're talking about on that. So again,
wait. He can do statements.
Oh,
he can't do questions.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't see anything. Yeah, okay, cool. But I mean, look, here's the thing: Colson wants to play, of course. Do you guys remember? Do you guys watch the mic'd up with Navarro Bowman? And he's like, man, this guy Colson, he wants to be a starter day one. He's young though. I don't know, and there's something to be said about having a veteran out there running the offense or the defense, game one. Yes, he knows the defense, but he's a rookie. And NFL rookies are a little bit different than, it takes time. Folks, it takes time. And he's running the NFL defense. That is a lot for somebody as a rookie to step in and do. Yep. That's hard. That's hard. So we'll see. I don't know. And again, watch my video on the defense, because I'll tell you, it's going to be very free. In short, they run a very base formation, and then they allow people to run free on however they want to handle that guy in front of them, right? So none of this pass-off garbage like Brandon Staley did. It's a lot more man. It's going to be physical. They're going to jam at the line. It's going to be physical. Very similar to, obviously, what the Ravens run and the Niners. Very similar type of defense. That's the best way of describing it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And the thing too,
that'd be good, because maybe I should use that for my Madden simulations, because I keep changing the playbook who we actually are using. So far, our best success has been the Niners offense and the Ravens defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and the one thing too, I don't think we're gonna, knowing the Harbaughs, I don't imagine he's gonna go a lot of youth on the defense too, meaning as in hey, you're going to put Junior Colson immediately out week one kind of thing. I understand he understands the defense already. I get it, but you don't want to have too many youthful pieces out there, in my opinion. Yeah. Now, I think, you want more veterans out there, guys that know what they're doing and been there and done that kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be an interesting battle all around there, guys. So
yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, and I'm excited to see Deion Henley out there as well too, man, because Deion can do it all. He's a sideline to sideline type of linebacker. And what a shame that he didn't play last year. When the season was over, why was he not on the field? I don't even understand why.
I know.
Carl always liked to show up late, dude. Carl, come on now.
Carl's always showing up late.
He's working on them ribs.
Hey, that's why, because he's got some freaking ribs on the barbecue, man.
Let's go.
Yeah, he's like,
let's go. Oh, you better hook us up, buddy. You better hook us up.
Yeah, man. Please, bring some ribs to training camp, man. I'm gonna try a new recipe that you got, man.
Let's go.
Let's go. Man, I need to actually drive out to you, man, and just kind of have a hang with you,
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. So
but I think the linebacker room is going to be fine, guys. I mean, net, I think we're going to be absolutely fine. I do not worry about our linebacker room right now. So
we chatted a little bit about JT Woods. He could be a guy on the bubble this year for us, and a safety room is going to be interesting. Tony Jefferson, Derwin James, Alohi Gilman. Alohi, man, there's a lot
of me, dude. One thing Aether got right. He kept saying Gilman's going to ball out. I was like, I don't know about that. He looked good all last season. Last season.
Stud. Yeah. And, you got 3 safeties at that point. Akeem Dent, he seems to be putting a little bit of noise out there. You also got, JT Woods, if that's going to even happen too. You got AJ Finley.
Who knows? I like Finley.
You got probably 3 guys set, in my opinion. Obviously, Derwin, Alohi, and Tony, unless he looks a lot slower than we thought. But it's an interesting area where is going to be the backups essentially for this team. So,
well, hey, but what about Akeem Dent? I think Akeem Dent can make the team as well too. Again, I think it's a bit of a work in progress, but that guy's very NFL ready. His, I don't want to sound a little weird here, but he got that NFL body. You know what I mean? He got that NFL body, that frame.
Hey, you checking him out in the showers now? What are you
saying? Brother, come on. I'm just saying. He got that NFL body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Actually, because that's the truth, though, too. It's like, so Jesse Minter has said that he's hoping to clone 3 Derwin Jameses out there.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. So he's trying. He's out there in the shower, scrubbing there, getting some hair follicles and stuff like that, and he's gonna yeah.
Hey man, there's only one Derwin James, though. That guy's a freak of nature, dude.
That's for sure, though. That's for sure. So, but he's hoping to get the other players on the team, on the squad, to mimic him in any way possible. And actually make them do what he does, and think the way he thinks, and just all that stuff. So yeah.
Aether says Charles going to win the
talking about Jalen Phillips too, being the Clemson undrafted guy too. So preseason is going to be big for these guys and for this position, massive for this position.
And the safety is a huge position too, because you got to remember too, Derwin James, they're going to move him around a lot, right? They may man him up on Travis Kelce, just all over him like white on rice, like ugly on an ape,
right.
Like a cheap suit, hang over him like a cheap suit, and and I'm just saying, like that's what Minter's defense is all about. They allow them to play free and do what they need to do to shut somebody down. Because I'll say this: Derwin James can cover anybody. Should he play slot? Probably not, but he can cover a tight end very easily, and that's where I think he's better, in my opinion. Yeah. What about week 1 shutting down Bowers, the rookie? Right? Yeah. Just lock his ass down. Hey, welcome to the NFL, Rook, and he just gets blown up.
That was awesome. Yeah,
love it. I'd love to see it, man. I'd love to see it. Week 1's going to be awesome against the Raiders. I mean, guys, show up to that game. It's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be good. And the Bolt Bros will be there as well, too. So all 3 of us.
So JT Woods, obviously, he's kind of on the guy in the bubble. We've chatted a little bit about him, too. We'll see. We'll see where it pans out. Once again, new regime comes in, new thoughts of type of players that they need. I feel like JT Woods, from what he showed us, I mean, he's got to be more physical. I mean, that guy's built pretty skinny too. If you kind of look at his body, dude, look at that body.
He needs a hamburger, dude. We got to give him some meatloaf or something.
Right. Well, think about how Ben Herbert was talking about bodies and how they're built, and 175 might look way different on somebody else, but JT basically looks like a 175 soaking wet at this point, and so. Can he take a hit? Will he take a hit? Will he go heads up with somebody? Will he be physical as a safety? Yeah. That's a lot of questions that are going to be here with JT.
You have to be. That's a big part of it. I mean, look, that's my biggest concern with Asante Samuel. The guy's 5'8", or he's like 5'10", something like that, right? Yeah. All the athletic ability in the world, but he's a small guy, dude. And when you're going up against a 220 running back, and you got to set the. That's rough, dude.
Yeah,
I understand physics, potential energy, and kinetic energy. I get it. So
force equals mass times acceleration.
Hey, there we go.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Einstein on the podcast. Let's go.
And so hey, if you ain't, that means if you ain't big, get fast.
Get fast, baby.
Yeah, and if you ain't fast, be big.
Right. It all helps, but again, it will be interesting. And again, I think what's going to hurt JT Woods, he's not a very good tackler. Like he struggled, so I think that's where he's going to really struggle getting on with this regime. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Into that. So inside defensive line, The interior line is going to be
look at those guys.
Wild. Yeah, we got butt and gut, baby.
Talk about mass right there, baby.
Yeah, and you got the Soul Taker number 99.
Mm-hmm.
Just put a war axe in his hand, with a shield, and then you got Puna 4, dude. I'll tell you, dude. And Megan Fox right there looks a little different in person. Look better in Transformers.
Definitely a lot different than Megan Fox. Yeah, definitely different. The bearded Fox over here.
And Megan Fox sure went downhill fast. Her movie career. No wonder why.
Oh no. Yeah.
Jeez Louise. But I mean, the whole D line, inner D line, the inside D line is really going to be like, spearheaded by Morgan Fox, and I think Morgan Fox is going to have a solid year this year.
Yeah, he's good.
I mean, Morgan Fox, Puna Ford, Scott Matlock. Is Gerard Clark going to find a way on this squad?
Yeah.
Tito Obonia, like you would hope that he'd be able to be healthy and to be able to be on the field. This is a big part of the defense. I am 100% confident in our outside guys, Joey Bosa, Thule, Mack, and Bud Dupree. Totally set with those guys. But the inside D-line needs to find their core, players. And this is an area that I have of concern here too. Like, I kind of view it as like, think about playing against Patrick Mahomes. Like, I remember Max Crosby, he talked a little bit about how do you beat the Chiefs? Keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. Don't let him go outside. Okay, do we have those outside guys? Cool, we do. We have those guys that could collapse on him. But do we have guys in the middle that could actually hold their position?
Yeah.
And maybe even create a little pressure? Like I've been saying for a very long time, we need a guy that could actually get pressure up the middle on our D-line. Was Puna Ford going to be that guy? Morgan Fox, I think, could definitely be that guy.
Well, it's all about block destruction. That's what Mentor says a lot. Block
Big
destruction. If you think they're going to hit the A gap, the B gap, you jam that gap up. So then that running back has to bounce out, or the fullback has to go to a different area.
Yeah.
And then the play's blown up, right? Like it's blown up. And so again, the defensive linemen, they're not really there to get sacks. So don't expect them to get. That's actually why. Oh my God, what was that homie's name from the Rams? Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Aaron
Donald, who retired. Yeah, everyone keeps talking about him coming back. Yo, I would love it if he came back.
That would be incredible.
Bro, that's exactly what Jesse Minter wants. A guy like that. Block destruction. You have to double him every time. And you don't have to do that with these guys right here, which is kind of unfortunate, but they need to, be as disruptive as possible. Their job is to be disruptive, a bad relationship, right? All kinds of up and downs, you know what I mean? Kiss and make up, all the above, right?
Yep. And Eddie brought up the whole thing about Justin Aboigbe.
Aboigbe.
Yeah.
And when you watch some of his highlights, that guy was just straight running through people, man. Like he was just bowling people. He fits very, very much in that sense of like a Harbaugh kind of guy. And
he does.
Who knows where he'll be? Like, I feel like within the training camp, there really wasn't much talk about him. I think he was slightly injured or something like that, or something was going on there. Yeah, Aboigbe. Yeah.
He had a neck injury at Alabama.
Got it. So they're basically trying to be cautious with him.
Yeah, so I don't suspect he'll be out there. Well, who knows? But they're going to rotate a lot too. I do suspect they're going to rotate a lot of players in and out. But I will say this: I don't think he's a bit of a work in progress. Yes, he has a ton of upside, but that neck injury was a lot of people didn't even think he was going to be able to come back at all. So, and the fact that he came back, had such a great season, and then goes to the draft, he was a bit of a risk because of that injury. That injury is like severe. Severe. So
agreed. So that's definitely an area to keep an eye on. Inside defensive line is going to be massive. So
the Giants Hard Knocks. I have not.
I've been watching it. Dude, I feel like that organization is a mess.
I've just seen a few clips like from from social media. That's about it. I haven't really.
It's a mess.
Yeah,
it's a mess, man. But here you go. We got what do we got here? Slot cornerback battle.
Tarheeb still. Yeah, so still, like I again, it's the slot nickel corner battle is going to be pretty big, and a lot of people are thinking this guy flashed. Now, again, he wasn't out there as often as Jasir Taylor. Jasir Taylor probably will be the starter, but Tarheeb will be behind Jasir. So I think both of them will play. Well, I would assume Tarheeb will probably play a little more special teams, But if Jasir gets hurt, guess what? Tarheed's going to step right in, and you don't lose a whole lot. At least you don't think you lose a whole lot.
Yep.
But and again, DZ are 100% correct. They are going to rotate a lot of people in and out. So you might have him in there maybe for like a running play when it's like goal line or bigger, more physical, because that's what he likes. This guy likes contact, and he's a ball hawk. So you might even see some Cam Hart at that time too, right? Because he's just going to be a big physical dude and just man somebody up.
Yeah, and a lot of people are chatting about, Tarheed being the guy. And once again, I go back to that point of talking about the inside linebackers. I don't really feel we want to put too much youth on this defense. I think we want a lot of veterans on this defense. I feel like if you add, say, Junior Colson out there with Tarheed still, that kind of is two new guys to the NFL trying to figure it out. And I do get a little worried about that in that sense. But I think Jasir Taylor's done a fine job in the slot side of things. I think he was rated as one of the top slot guys for a while there too. Yeah. Just to say the whole thing about Tarheed, I mean, Maryland guy, JC Jackson came from Maryland. Obviously JC Jackson had a great time in his career early on. He was an absolute stud as a cornerback. Maybe we'll get a little bit of gold here with, Tarheed too. So, it's going to be an interesting battle between these two guys here. So, and I think the one thing about Jasir, he really brings a lot to the special teams too. And that's going to be key for these guys too. So,
yeah, I think it's going to be huge, man. And I truly believe that, and it's great. It's great to have depth like that, right? I think Jasir is going to be fine. Dean Leonard, I think, will be okay too, right? So we'll see how he plays out. But I really think overall our team I think we could play day one right now, but bringing in someone like a Stephon Gilmore might not be a bad idea, right? You bring in a guy like that, but we'll see. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I think JS20 was asking a question about the Hard Knock season. What's my favorite moment scene of all time? I don't know of all time, but I could just say for the current season, I actually think it's kind of fun to watch the whole free agency type situation and kind of figuring out how to navigate that with salary cap and all these different things. I think stuff like that is so interesting to me. And I love watching how that all works. Cause I mean, things move so fast as you see in free agency, and you got to be able to budget things out correctly. These are the guys that we want to have, all these different things. I think that stuff's fascinating to me. Like, I love watching that type of stuff.
Yeah, I love seeing stuff like the behind the scenes of like draft and contract type stuff.
It's the best,
and how all that stuff goes down for sure. But I admit, I've had conversations with the Chargers about that kind of stuff. And they basically said it's such a distraction for them to be there. Because it
is. I bet.
Yeah, they have to accommodate the whole crew to get here and there and everywhere, so and with all that stuff, and so it just adds such a lot more headache to them for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Kevin, that's a great question there, or at least statement. Our D-line will use a lot of disguise, gap stunts, blitz packages. I think you're even going to be seeing a lot of potential corner or Derwin James kind of getting more into the blitz packages. This should lead to a lot more sacks, pressures, and help our secondary. I 100% agree. If you watch Jesse Minter and his defensive line is just moving around quite a bit. It is very, very hard to be able to understand where people are coming from and who's going to be rushing. So
he usually always rushes 5 most of the time. Now, where are those 5 coming? You're not going to really know.
Could be linebacker, could be edge, cornerback, could be Derwin James coming down. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be interesting.
Right. Another guy, Maryland, Sean Merriman, lights out, baby.
What a cool guy too. Just a great person, and James over here punched him right in the chest, which, he's like, I was like, yo, I had to get a jab in.
Had to get a jab in.
Yeah, like, what's this mosquito bite on me, dude? What was that all about?
Yeah, dude, that was funny. Crazy. That was crazy. And then, so I think, do we got one more slide?
One more slide.
All right, let's see. So it's not coming up, but let me check on
here,
it again.
I'll pull it up. I got it right here. I added it a few seconds later. Dude. I thought it was pretty funny. This would be a funny one. Okay, let's take. What are your thoughts on Craig Carlton calling J. Herb Coach Killer? Yeah, Look, it ain't Herbert's fault. It ain't.
No.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, Herbert, it's not a Herbert problem. You look at this stats, 30th in rushing in the NFL, the 4 years he's been in the NFL. Well, on average. Defense around 29th, 30th. That's bad, dude. So he's carried the team all 4 seasons. So it's not a Herbert problem. It's a team problem. And that's really the difference with Harbaugh right now, is they're really trying to make the team be more effective around Herbert.
Yep. And I do think it's, once again, I've said the analogy. I think we've always had this beautiful Lamborghini with just a 4-cylinder engine in it. And the engine is basically the lack of a coach that knows what the heck they're doing. And we have actually now a really good engine with the, coaching staff and everything too. I think what we're lacking a little bit is the talent on field going to get the job done, basically. So it's like, maybe we got an Audi now with an 8-cylinder engine or something like it, which is a supercar. It could be a very strong car, but hey, look, we're not a Lamborghini body at this point. We're a little bit more downgraded at this point, but this is pretty.
Speak for yourself. I'm a Lamborghini body. What you talking about?
Oh boy. Come on, dude.
Hey, I gotta hype up. This is no limit bolts. I think is dude. I was dying when I saw this. I was dying. I had to post that on our page. Hey, not trying to be too political, but this is pretty hilarious. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's pretty good.
Boy, but it would have been funny if the shirt actually was like a Raider t-shirt. Too,
yeah.
Like,
even better. Yeah. It's like he ripped apart a Raider shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would just say this last thing about the Herbert thing. I think a lot of these guys, there's nothing to talk about. So you may as well, to stay relevant, just make these preposterous comments so you can become relevant, right? So I look at it like, whatever, no big deal, right? But people just want to talk.
The media loves to talk. What's that dude's name? That guy that always talks bad?
Ocho, yeah.
Ocho Mouth. Get my quarterback's name.
Ocho Mouth.
Yeah.
Like that dude be chirping, and Tua don't even got a contract yet. He's going in his 5th year, and they're still unsure about that dude.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So they have not paid him yet. And I mean, he came to training camp looking like he's 175 pounds now. All of a sudden, homie's taking that Ozempic or something, dude. I don't know what he's doing.
He watched that South Park episode, huh? That whole thing.
Hey, they just need to get that tight end Hawkinson over there, so that way they got that Hawk Tua combination.
Yeah, they got that Hawk Tua.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so funny, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Grandize are good to see you as well, man. I'll tell you. Look, I mean, I know we've been here about an hour now. I mean, we don't want to get too long-winded because you know how we can just like flap our gums for hours. You know what I mean? But
hey, you know what?
I'll just say this.
I think a lot of people like that, man. Yo.
Oh man, Acho, a clown has opinion. Ooh, I like that. That's good.
That's good. Right. That's what it means. Yeah.
That's right. Figured it out.
I like that. I'll just say this. I'll wrap up my thoughts. Look, I just think this position battle will be very interesting. I think we're ready to play today. I think anybody we pick up now will be a value add to the team for depth, right? And again, think of it this way, right? I mean, I play sports competitively. I'm a finely tuned athletic machine, in every, what's that? Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
No,
okay. In every facet of every sport I play. But what'd you say? No. Sorry. Speak up, bro. I'm confused.
How about running on the beach, dude? Get a pull a hammy real quick, dude.
That's true. I did pull a hammy, run on the beach,
And you got jokes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like of all this is the audience he's been trying to talk to the whole time about how good he is.
Yeah.
Oh, ouch. That's enough of that. Put that away. No, but look, the good news is I think this team is ready to play today. We're good to go. I think it'll be fine. Now, how it shapes out, all the above, run ball, pass ball, don't matter. Look, everything I'm reading about the offense, they're going to run the ball and throw the ball the same amount. It's going to be 50-50.
Yep.
By the way, one last thought. I'll land my plane. The over and under is that Herbert's only going to throw 21 touchdowns this year. And I'm like, that's crazy. He's going to throw way over 21 touchdowns. So that's not a bad bet. If you're a betting person, you might want to throw that money down on that. Because
I actually don't know.
Lamar Jackson, a lesser quarterback, has like 26 to 30 touchdowns every year. So, and those are throwing.
I mean, I kind of looked at the Harbaugh years with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick or whatever. Like, they rarely were over 20 touchdowns. So that's actually kind of like, if you're kind of basing it off of kind of play schemes and things like that he did before, I don't know that, I mean, does that include, is that just passing touchdowns or is that rushing touchdowns? Yeah. Okay.
Throwing.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Look, and I think the thing is, though, there's going to be a very efficient type pass situation here. It's not going to be a lot of like, hey, bomb the ball out kind of situation. It's going to be just, hey, get that first down and move along. To be honest, the stat that matters the most to me is wins. And do whatever it takes to win. Who cares? I do think that Herbert, obviously, we know that he could get well over 30 touchdowns in a season for sure. But maybe they're equating a little bit if there's some sort of situation where he gets injured or something, which I don't even like talking about. So,
well, they don't talk about it.
Don't talk about it. And by the way, I think it was JD20 asked about, hey, are we going to be at some home games? For sure, we're going to be at week one. For sure. And then through the season, we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do from there. But yeah, for sure, we'll be there week one.
Yep.
Kyle, you want to do your last little comments there?
I just responded to a question from Aether right now. Just comment.
Whoa, wait a minute.
If I lost, I would not pay me. It's like, dude, I would have paid you instantly, bro. Like, it would.
Venmo ASAP.
You would have Venmo'd. I would have sent you a gift card or something like that right away, man. Just whatever you needed.
Sephora.
Yeah. Actually, babies are us. I would have sent it. Yeah, I would have sent
a lifetime supply of In-N-Out burgers or something.
Yeah. He's in Michigan. So I don't know what it is.
Whataburger or whatever.
I don't know.
Yep.
So funny, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. Well, last thoughts here, Kyle.
I'm a man of my word. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I think the guy that has like the best chance of making the team and winning the camp battles is probably in the cornerback room. I think right now, like, because that is the biggest question mark in my head right now, like on that area. So I think Cam Hart could be one of the guys that we actually pull up in there, or Tahib Still. Like they could take away a position from somebody in that spot. My second spot would be tight end. Like I could see Stone Smart gone. I could see Parham gone. So we can see Zach Hines taking over in a position like that. So if that's going to happen, man, like, there's a lot of things that we need to move around in this, that area for sure. Like cornerback is my biggest question mark in this offseason. And so I'm keeping a close eye on that one myself.
Very true. I like what Bolt Lightning says here. They think we're going to throw the ball 18 times a game. I think around 25. I think 30. 25, 30. It's Herbert, dude. Like, don't get me wrong. It's Herbert, and Herbert likes to slang the ball, and these tight ends are going to get involved in the passing game, right? So, anyways.
I did a video on Greg Roman's offenses. It's about 50-50. So 50% run, 50% pass. So you will get a fair amount of pass attempts with Herbert. I mean, this is their best quarterback they've ever had as head coaches, as offensive coordinators. You have to treat this guy differently than Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith. These are totally different type of. You've got a legit quarterback for once, guys. So this is great for them. My last thoughts here, guys. Once again, training camp starts next week. Vets will be in. Rookies will be in.
It's gonna be big.
Let's go. And we do have tickets, guys. So once again, if you do need tickets, we got some tickets for you. Saturday, I think every day for next week, we've got a couple tickets. So if you guys need tickets, please let us know. Maybe we might put like a post on YouTube and all our social medias. If anybody needs tickets, we got a couple tickets available. So first come, first serve, guys. So we'd be excited to see you guys at training camp this week. And the 22nd is when you could get tickets for week 2, by the way. Only 1,500 tickets per day are going to be available. So be on there. Get on the interwebs real quick. Make sure you sit in that line like we did, basically. And we're excited to just have football back, guys. I am beyond stoked to see the Chargers back. And we are in a Harbaugh era. Like, I want to emphasize as much as I possibly can. We're going in the unknown with this team right now. And what I mean by that is this is a great chance that we got a great shot at getting some Super Bowls here, in my opinion. Like, we have basically the best coaching staff since we've had Marty Schottenheimer and the largest coaching staff currently right now in the NFL. A lot of experience all around, and this is exciting, guys. And I cannot wait for the season to see what this Harbaugh era is going to bring.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I cannot wait. It's exciting.
Woo! We just went from 6 to midnight, boys and girls.
Right,
it's time, dude. It's time.
It got a little thicker, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Loincloth rising. Yeah. No, I'll tell you, man, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Well, folks, we're the Bolt Bros.
Hold on. Let's try to get this in sync one time. Bolt Bros, let's go. Let's do this on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bolt Bros.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Oh, my God.